Quick question. Voters should be able to pick their politicians, right? So, why are some politicians drawing unfair maps that silence the voice of specific groups while amplifying the political power of others? This is Redistricting and the Republican Party. Members of Congress, state legislatures, and many county and municipal offices are elected by voters grouped into districts. But populations change. Some gain new residents, some lose them. This is why every 10 years, congressional district maps are drawn based on the new nationwide census population data. This data informs each state how many seats it will have in the U.S. House of Representatives for the next decade. This process is known as redistricting. So, how are the decisions made to redraw lines? Each state decides. In most states, the state legislature draws lines both for the legislature and for the state's congressional delegation. Typically, the governor can veto a map, which, considering recent elections, is alarming. Some states have special commissions that advise legislatures on drawing the map or that serve as backup map makers if the legislature deadlocks. Redistricting affects political power. It determines which party controls Congress as well as state and local governments across the country. A good redistricting process ensures communities of color have a fair shot to elect candidates that properly represent them and fight for their concerns. This process should help a community secure meaningful representation. Unfortunately, that's not always the case. In most states, the legislature is responsible for drawing electoral boundaries, but this process sometimes results in gerrymandering. One political party may use its unilateral ability to pass a map to lock in a disproportionate share of seats. A different kind of gerrymandering can also take place when maps are drawn in a way that disadvantages racial or ethnic minorities. Unfortunately, the power to draw maps is left in the hands of interested politicians. Gerrymandering affects what laws are created, which communities receive accurate representation, and which party can win elections. An analysis of congressional districts drawn during the last redistricting cycle in 2011 found that the maps were consistently biased in favor of Republicans as a result of gerrymandering.
And tradition of political satire, an illustrator drew a picture of one of Gary's new districts, depicting it as a monster that supposedly looked like a salamander. No, a Garymander.
Today, Republican lawmakers in conservative states continue to slice left-leaning college towns such as Austin, Texas, Columbus, Ohio, and Athens, Georgia, into pieces. Then they combine those smaller chunks with conservative areas to produce mostly Republican congressional districts. As booming economies attract more Democratic newcomers to cities such as Louisville, Nashville, and Omaha, GOP lawmakers in Kentucky, Tennessee, and Nebraska are using the same strategy. Republicans need to flip as few as 5 seats to regain control of the U.S. House of Representatives in 2022. A goal states could accomplish with redistricting alone, according to a University of Virginia Center for Politics report released in May. A new political map of Georgia released Wednesday would help Republicans gain at least 1 seat in Congress, using redistricting to reverse Democratic gains and flip a district held by U.S. Rep. Lucy McBath. This could increase Republicans' 8-6 majority in Georgia's congressional delegation by stretching a suburban Atlanta district into conservative areas to the north in Cherokee, Dawson, and Forsyth counties. Georgia would become the latest state where the majority party is using its power to redraw congressional maps to gain seats in Washington. Redistricting in other states has already shifted 5 seats towards Republicans in the U.S. House, where Democrats currently hold a 221 to 213 advantage. In the 12 states that have completed the mapping process, Republicans have gained an advantage for seats in Iowa, North Carolina, Texas, and Montana, and Democrats have lost the advantage in districts in North Carolina and Iowa. Lawsuits are already rolling in to challenge Republican mapmakers. The North Carolina League of Conservation Voters filed a lawsuit and accused Republican legislators of violating the state constitution by parceling out portions of the state's large urban counties into districts that appear to favor GOP congressional candidates. General Assembly lines also appear to group black voters excessively in some districts while fracturing black voting blocks across others in a method to dilute their electoral power, according to a lawsuit filed late Tuesday in Wake County Superior Court. A lawsuit by the North Carolina NAACP, Common Cause, and 4 individuals filed October 29th before new boundaries were drawn, challenged the legislators' refusal to consider racial data before considering proposals for General Assembly districts. While we patiently wait for the results of this year's redistricting, we urge you to pay close attention to what's happening to our political landscape as the 2022 midterm elections draw near. While the power to dictate redistricting maps may be out of our particular hands, the power to elect those who do is very much ours. So while it may seem too early to ask this question, we assure you it's not. Have you started making your midterm voting plan?